Welcome to Coach's Corner, everybody. Thanks for watching the show. I'm your host, Coach Tripp, along with a good friend of mine, Bradley Boes. Brad, thanks for joining the show, buddy.
Thanks, Coach. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. This show is brought to you by Hill Kelly Dodge and Ronnie's Car Wash. So go out and see them. 2 new sponsors, Bubba's 33, also in Gulf Breeze Insurance. So thankful for all our great sponsors. Here on Coach's Corner, we try to inspire and educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, and the body to act. A local sports reporter, Bradley Boes, former high school, college basketball player and referee. How many years did you referee, Bradley?
Let me guess. 9 years.
Holy cow. You're a darn good referee, according to a couple of coaches around here in Pensacola State. We're going to talk about that. Let's get into NCAA Tourney first before we get into some local sports news. The brackets are out. The games, some of them are already done. I guess Creighton is a final, right?
Creighton is a final. And then we're moving towards Wisconsin being a final here soon.
Yeah, we're taping in the afternoon. This will run at 8 o'clock tonight. So the games are going on. We're going to run a contest. Everybody out there watching the show, you can IM me on my Facebook page. Instant message me your Final Four and your championship team. We're giving away $100 in food at Bubba's 33 here in Pensacola. So send that to me, your winner, your Final Four and your winners, and give a score. So the winner will get $100. Let's talk about our Final Fours. The SEC is dominating, and later on, Bradley, we're going to talk about the SEC dominating in all 3 of the major sports. But right now, let's talk basketball. 14 teams into the tournament. I'm sure a record, I'm picking 3 SEC teams to be in the Final Four. I think Duke is going to take on Tennessee, and Auburn and Florida are playing the best that I can see over on that side of the bracket. And I got Florida beating Duke 74-71. So, Bradley, who's your Final Four? And let's pick some upsets for the first round.
I have got Duke beating St. John's in the finals.
You have Duke and St. John's in the finals. All right, good. All right, let's talk about.
I got Duke. I got Duke winning the thing.
You got Duke winning it. All right, they get healthy. They're playing best most of the year. Let's talk about some upsets. I think I have VCU, their defense against that powerhouse offense of BYU. I'm going to pick an upset there in the first round. And I'm going with Yale, your team, Yale.
I like Yale to beat Texas A&M, and actually, I'd like UC San Diego to beat Michigan.
Me too. All 3. We're picking all 2 of those. Yale beat Michigan last year, right?
No, Yale beat Auburn last year.
Yale beat Auburn last year. Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right. So I think this is Bruce Pearl's year to win it, man. And he's getting all or nothing in. But what has happened to the SEC? Why are they dominating? Is it all NIL money? Do they have more NIL money than the other parts of the country?
I read the other day they spent per team, they've probably spent $2.5 million more than the rest of the country.
That's
per player. And you combine that with some really big time coaches, that's a pretty good recipe for success.
I guess so. We'll see in the tournament. I'm really excited about it. Anybody else that might sneak into the Final Four? I don't think Bama's playing really that well coming into the tournament. And it's not always a good sign when you're not playing your best. Plus, Nelson.
But sometimes there's teams that go in there and they're playing. They think they're playing their best and they get knocked out early. Sometimes you get beat early. Maybe in the SEC tournament, you have an opportunity to regroup. They put you in the bracket. It sets up nicely for you. Winning your conference tournament is not always the best thing in the world. Sometimes getting beat before getting the tournament might be the best thing for you. Maybe you need to regroup a little bit.
It's funny how psychology.
I do, and it's a weird thing. The tournament is it's not really like football, where I think generally in football the best teams win the national title. I really that's the most talented teams.
Right.
there's been many years in basketball where that's just not been the case. Team that got hot at the right time
Right.
won
Yeah,
the national title.
absolutely.
Now
One game.
the last 4 years with Baylor, Kansas, and the two UConn teams, I do think that the best teams won the national title.
What I saw E60 and the Hurleys, Danny Hurley, and talked a lot about his dad Bob and his brother Bobby. It was a great documentary. I mean,
They're an interesting family, aren't they? They
are an interesting family, and
the dynamics where Bobby was probably one of the most dominant point guards when I grew up. He was a great point guard. His brother wasn't quite as good as him, and there's fans that used to chant. They'd say, "Bobby's better, Bobby's better," and don't you think Danny wanted to just look at him and say, "No shit, I know he's better."
Yeah, he is. It's just that's just the way it is for all those years, and he finally redeemed himself in basketball lore, and got a seat at the table. Right? They always talked about him. His dad was a great coach, and his dad could have gone on and coached college many times. He turned down home probably dozens and dozens. Right? We read that book. I read that book, St. Anthony's, the Miracle at St. Anthony's. That's a good sports book worth reading while we're on the subject.
It's a really good book.
Yeah, it is a great book. All right, I got like 4 or 5 books on my reading list, man. I can't find the time right now. I got to make the time.
Hey, when you're moving and when you have to move and you have to renovate your house, there's not much time left to read, is there?
No, there isn't. Let's move on. Let's go local a little bit. Local sports. Pensacola State Pirates men's basketball team plays the first game in the national tourney on Sunday at 2:30 against Trinidad State College from Colorado. They're going to be playing in Hutchinson Community College out in Kansas, right?
Yes, sir.
Dorothy said there's no place like home. Good luck to Coach Pete. That's that tournament. What do you got to say about Pete's team? And then we'll talk about the last time that Pensacola State was in there.
So they're going to play Trinity. That they're out of Colorado. I like their chance. I like his team. I like his chances to go really deep. I think they can win it. They're good enough. They have, he has played a brutal schedule this year. His non-conference alone, he played Jones. Jones is in the national tournament. He played Daytona. They're in the national tournament. By the way, he beat both of those teams. He played Panola. They're in the national tournament. He lost to them by 3. He played the winner of the Tennessee bracket at their place, got beat pretty good. They were probably a little bit tired. It was second day of a road trip. Mm-hmm. He played Chipola twice, national tournament. So his Thanksgiving tournament this year, he had Jones Community College, national tournament. He had Panola, national tournament. He had Trinity Valley, national tournament. He had Pensacola State hosted national tournament. Chipola national tournament. It's a pretty good tournament, isn't it?
Wow. Holy macaroni, spaghetti, and pasta fazool. Tell the people out there.
I'm probably missing something. But yeah, he has played incredible schedule.
Tell the people out there, Brad, that don't realize that Pensacola State's in the Panhandle Conference, but this is almost like the SEC of football conferences for junior college basketball.
It is a tough it's so thought of around the country. Chipola gets beat first in the state tournament because they win the league. They bump Gulf Coast and they're in the tournament.
Wow,
that's how good they.
All right, let's talk about Coach Bob Marlin and his team of 1993 here in Pensacola when it was Pensacola Junior College. Talk about the team he had and some of the players. Of course, he had the great Glover Jackson, but talk about the championship game and Paul, the guy who scored the what happened?
Well, to get there. At that time, you had to win the state tournament. They went as a number 2 seed behind Chipola. Chipola had beaten them 3 times that year. That's how good Chipola was. So you had to win the state to advance. There was no automatic bids, and you'd have to ask Coach Penna this question. But I think they were getting beat in the first round. Chris Davis, the freshman, Oak Hill Academy, is going to Auburn, hits a 15-footer at the buzzer, inbounds pass, they send it to overtime. Long story short, they win that game. They win the state. They get to the national tournament. They're playing Barton County out of Kansas in Hutch. And that's pretty much probably a home game for Barton County. And my understanding, that's before TV, that they're losing. And I can remember Coach Fryman telling me, us in the locker room, that Paul Lenny took over the national tournament championship game. And the last 5 minutes, and because of him, they won the national tournament.
Paulo Lenny scored like the last 10 points. And they almost didn't get into the tournament. They had to go over to get a shot in overtime. You didn't get into the state tournament.
That's how crazy it was back then. There's Coach Penna's first team. He gets beat. I think he got beat by St. Pete in the second round at the buzzer. But that if there's a national tournament, if there's automatic bids, he won the Panhandle that year. He probably gets an auto bid. He probably makes a pretty deep run in the national tournament with that team. That's just the reality of a lot of Pensacola State teams and Chipola teams, and Tallahassee teams in Northwest Florida, which Okaloosa Walton, stay at home. There's only been, in the state of Florida, Paul, there's only been 5 national champions. Pensacola was the first in 93. OW won it in 95. And then DeMayo won it. I'm not sure what year he won it. And then Greg Hare won it, but Central Florida also won it. They beat Northwest Florida in the finals. Probably, I think it was 2011 or 12. So there's only been 5 national titles. DePaulo's never won one. They finished second twice. Tallahassee's finished second once, in the Gulf Coast, I don't think, has ever been there.
Holy cow. Wow.
Now, they would have been there, but there was a COVID year. They won the state.
Pete knows this, right? Bradley Pete knows that he's got a chance to win this thing if they play well.
Oh yeah, I would. Yeah, that would. Yeah, they can win this thing. They're good. They're good enough to win it.
All right, so they play Sunday at 2:30. Then they go into the quarterfinals after that.
They'll have to, if they win, they'll have to play Trinity Valley, the number 2 team in the country, who they can beat. They can beat them. And I'm not sure after that what they would have to do, but but the bottom line is when you play in a tournament, you got to beat everybody anyway. So you might as well beat them.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you play them first round or finals. You're gonna have to beat them. All right, so he goes. They play Sunday. Do you think Tuesday will be the next game? They win.
So let me pull up the bracket. I think it's the Tuesday next game. And by the way, if anybody's listening, you can watch all these games on ESPN2. Not ESPN2, ESPN Plus. You can watch the games.
Plus, go catch their games. Yeah, it'll be on. I watched the state final game. We watched it. You watched it on your. I watched it on my phone. All right. College baseball. It's in high gear. SEC started, right? Bama, 21-1 on the year, and they had to take South Alabama Tuesday night to extra innings to win that one 6-5. But I looked at the they played Tennessee this weekend in Tuscaloosa. Okay, Tennessee's 20-0. That's 41-1 between those two teams. But I looked at the other top 10 teams in the country. LSU number 2, Arkansas 3, FSU is 4, Texas 5, Georgia 6, Florida 8, Oklahoma 9. What? That's 8 of the top 10 in the SEC.
Think they play baseball in the South?
Same things happen.
Think they play baseball in the South? They think they like to play baseball in the South?
Oh my gosh!
It's amazing, isn't it? It's incredible.
Up north, I think there are more sports they're interested in: hockey, wrestling, lacrosse.
Well, it's cold. It's cold until about April.
I think about how cold it is. I think those 3 sports: wrestling, lacrosse, hockey. I think they take a lot of the athletes away from football, basketball, and baseball up north and Midwest. Yeah, Midwest. That's where you're from. You're Ohio boys. You're Ohio State guys. How many ACC got? What, 4 teams in? And how many did the Big Ten get?
I think the Big Ten got 8.
They got 8.
They got 8. Yep.
Well respected.
The Big East. The Big East is my favorite basketball conference. They got 5 in, and they're talking about Sean Miller probably getting a Texas job when that opens up here in a couple hours.
He's moved around a little bit.
Well, he got fired in Arizona when all that stuff, and then he got the Xavier job, and now you know how these schools they don't hire anybody new. They just kind of recycle it. They kind of recycle. It's like NFL football. They just recycle the coaches.
All right, let's talk about our two teams, our two favorite teams, or two of my favorite teams, Ohio State and Syracuse. Neither one made the tourney. I think Syracuse are going to give this guy one more year at the most, and then find a replacement. It's the old adage, it's hard to replace the legend. Coach Bryant knew there's going to be a dip, and now Alabama is finding out there's going to be a dip, and they won't understand why. Ohio State, are they okay coaching-wise, or they just having a bad year?
I don't know. I don't really know. You know, Diebler, he's a local guy. He's from that area. He's actually from around where my dad grew up. So he's going to get one more. He's going to get one more year.
Yeah.
But as we know in college athletics,
that's it.
If he doesn't make tournament, probably next year he's probably going to. They'll probably move on.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
they will.
There's no 3 or 4 years anymore of building programs because of the transfer portal.
They will at Syracuse. All right, what's wrong? What's wrong with our Bama team? Why are we playing not to our potential, or not to not to his standard? Was it just Florida? Or was just Florida that good, man?
I think Florida's really good.
I do too.
I think Florida's really, really good.
I do too.
I think it could be a bad matchup because they've done it twice to Alabama.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, just the third time they played each other.
Right.
The SEC is a long, brutal basketball season because you play everybody twice.
Yeah.
And sometimes 3 times and possibly 4, Paul. So who knows?
Right. Yeah, it's going down. Even Bama and Auburn went down to the wire. All right,
I think they'll be okay. I mean, I have Wisconsin beating them though. I do.
Yeah, I do too. No, I had you had Wisconsin beating Bama?
I have Wisconsin beating Bama. I think Bama has a hard time guarding people.
You had Duke. Okay. I had Duke beating them, so I didn't have them going back to the Final Four, that's for sure. You never know. All right, enjoy the tourney.
All right, Coach. Be good. I love you, man. Hey, where's your assistant today, man? He couldn't find his glasses or what?
He'll be late to his own funeral. Speaking of
he's not, because we're gonna get him there on time. Me and you are. Hey, just tell him when next time you see him that Target has readers for $1.
He's gonna live longer than me, man. I don't know about you, but he's gonna live longer than me. All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Coach, be good. Yes, sir.
Bye-bye. See you. Oh man, Bradley Boes here on Local Sports Report. What a great guy he is. Great referee, man. He could have been an NBA referee, a college referee easily. His dad's a great coach and a great referee, run the associations here in Pensacola. All right, thanks for watching the show, Local Sports Report. Enjoy the tournament. Talk to you all real soon.
Arbitrium Consulting for all your fencing, landscaping, pressure washing, tree trimming needs. Call 850-483-0350 for your free estimates. Serving Pensacola, Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, Destin, Perdido, Gulf Shores, Foley, and the entire Gulf Coast. Arbitrium Consulting is owner-operated, fully licensed and insured. Call today, 850-483-0350, the official landscaper of Coach's Corner.
Hey, Bama fans, this is Will Moore, president of the Pensacola Bama Club. You can find us at PensacolaBamaClub.com. We are your official alumni chapter in the Pensacola and surrounding areas. Membership is available to all alumni and all Bama fans, so come see us at one of our many events throughout the year. Our Bama football watch parties are the next best thing to being in Bryant-Denny Stadium. We even serve authentic stadium hot dogs. Membership, event, and contact information will be found on our website at PensacolaBamaClub.com. Roll Tide.
Did you know there's a place where you can get good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates on your home and auto insurance? Yep, and that place is, ta-da, State Farm. Here's the deal. State Farm agent Will Rentschler is your go-to agent in Pensacola, Florida for the service you deserve at the price that you want. So stop shopping around. State Farm agent Will Rentschler has you covered. Call 850-433-4678 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Legal disclaimer, individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Over 30 years, you have seen the orange Beck signs all over the Gulf Coast listing a property for sale or lease. Beck Partners is your trusted advisor in commercial real estate, property management, commercial and personal insurance. Senior Vice President David Valletto has been with Beck Partners since 1989. Take advantage of his wealth of knowledge by calling him today at 982-7352. 982-7352. Extensive experience in all aspects of leasing, sales, management, and site selection will make sure your expectations are exceeded.